Thank you, Menachem, for such beautiful words. Menachem fulfilled what I asked him to do. Read loud and slowly, and not to bore the public. That's my job. I've written many speeches for professional people, for religious people, for bar mitzvah, but for myself, I don't have patience to write something. I just stand up and say whatever comes to my mind. That's what I always do. But my wife asked me a favor. She told me, please, do not be spontaneous in English. I asked her, you don't trust me? She told me, I trust you. I don't trust you in English. So a few days ago, I was talking to my rabbi, and I told him, my wife doesn't trust my English. I want just to be spontaneous. And my rabbi told me, please, do not be spontaneous in English. It seems like not many people trust my English. So that's what I usually do. When my wife says no, I run to my rabbi. When my rabbi says no, I run to my wife. But when both say no, I don't have option. So I'm going to do two things that I'm not used to do. First, read while I'm talking to the public. And second, speak English during more than 4 minutes continuously. So let's say Be'ezrat Hashem. First of all, I want to thank, in my name and on my wife's behalf, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Our Rebbeim, family, friend, for being here. Dear Menachem, as we know, you're a very conversationalist person, just like me. As you know, we have had beautiful, long, and deep conversations. But tonight, I want to talk to you about you and try to give you some advice, as I usually do. Rashi says at the end of Parashat Bereshis that Lamech based his son's name, Noach, in your name, Menachem, because he would bring comfort, menucha, relief. And that's what you have been even before you were born. When we asked Rabbi again for a bracha to have children after many years, he said, my bracha is a keli. You must fill it up with more mizbot. And I will daven, so Hashem will answer you before Purim. He told us to improve in mizvot, because there was a neshama waiting to come. And it was so pure that, like a Sefer Torah, it needed an Aron HaKodesh to hold it. We did it. And so you came. Since the very moment of your birth, you were our happiness for what we received, but at the same time, our relief for what that same day we didn't receive. I remember back in Miami when you were just a 2-year-old child with long, curly, and yellow hair. how the people at the shul enjoyed every Shabbos night listening to you singing Lehadodi and Yigdal. I also remember the first PTA that Mami and Tati had when your moros in kindergarten told us, we don't only come here to teach the kids. We come to see Menachem smile every day and feel nachas to continue our role here and at home. And here in Muncie, just a few months after we came, we received a call from a grateful mother. She was looking for the parents of the kid that took upon himself to take care of her little son on the school bus, taking him up every day from the door and bringing him back to her on the afternoon. Since then, her son stopped crying to go to school. But despite that big and sweet heart, when needed, you are brave and determined. And so, when you realized that something was happening with your little brother, you came and asked me to explain to you what was this about. I did it. You heard carefully, sharply. When I finished, you just thought for a while, cried, and suddenly stopped, took a deep breath, and asked me again to tell you whatever you should know to help your brother. I did it. And just a few days later, you were already an expert. Since then, at home, at school, we count on you. That's what you are, Menachem. Like the feeling itself, the feeling and the action, a kesher between heart and brain. Like each of the three parashiot that we usually read in this week of the year. Sometimes Mishpatim, sometimes Teruma, and sometimes Tetzaveh, and teach us about laws, kedusha, choshen mishpat, how good and beautiful are the things that are done under the laws of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's your way of being, looking for justice, analyzing rules. If you see an improper behavior, you just can't stand it. Despite any other's effort to justify it, you would come complaining and explaining your Kal Vachomer, V'kol Sheken, Uben Beno Shekal Vachomer. Like the essence of the parasha that you will read this Shabbos, Teruma. You are different, unique, Kadosh. A curious detail, the week that you were born, we read Parasha Pikudei. I checked up to 20 years back and I found that these three parashas that I just mentioned were alternated again, except for that week when you were born, that we read Pikudei. What does Pikudei teach us? The Mishkan was built, the Mishkan was born, and at the end, a big lesson, our holiest place in the world was hidden behind a cloud. Then start Vayikra, with the holiest moment in our history, the revelation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Our Rahamim explained this with a mashal. When a father and son are playing hide and seek, the biggest emotion is when after being hidden, the son finds his father again. That's life, Menachem. Sometimes Hashem cannot be seen clearly. If that happens, just wait. You will see and understand. But sometimes we cannot be seen clearly because we feel ourselves hidden. If that happens, just come back. Hashem will be excited with your return. Menachem